Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another amazing day in the stock market, where all your wildest dreams come true. Wish that was true. Can't happen though. You just have to work really hard, be persistent, follow structured rules. And what's up, Ian? Quick on the trigger this morning, Ian. That's great. Yeah, continue to follow those rules. Learn how to learn a little bit of economics. Not a ton. KLXI, and I'm looking at buying some shares myself. Looking at it, not quite there, but well, you can. It's I'm not sure why it's so tight here. There's a couple questions I have about it, but a minor in economics. Okay, great. Did they teach you good stuff? Or is it proven to be all a bunch of crap? Morning, Eli. Alright, just getting rolling this morning, guys. Bear with me. In case you don't realize, I pretty much wake up, brush my teeth, and come right over here. So, kind of rolling out of bed. Hanging out in the chair. And that's about it. Alright, pre-market movers. Let's get to the screen, guys. Mostly microeconomics. What are some of the most interesting principles you've learned in microeconomics? I've heard of macro. I've heard of micro, but I don't know much about microeconomics. All right, so WHD, one of my new favorite ones, which means it's going to have a big move, and I'm not going to be involved. And what's moving today? AOBC, IDTI. Oh, that's interesting. That's up 12%, and it's already broken out. That's pretty cool. Lulu up 10%. They had earnings last night. They were already well past the buy point. PDD, AFMD. That's only up about 2%. Looks like we looked at that the other day when it gapped up. You see that little hash mark? I kind of do that. Game theory. Is that related at all to what we're doing over here? I mean, it's kind of a game. There's definitely theory involved. What's up, Rebel? What's the NQ doing? That's it. Nasdaq's topped. There's a red bar. That's it. It's game over, guys. Pack up and go home. Square up a little bit. Apple up a little bit. IDTI, we already looked at that. Let's go look at the other one. Okay, some more stocks. Let's take a peek. VHC moving this morning. Not looking interesting. IFMK, I think that's one of the ones we've already looked at. AOBC doesn't look good. And MIH. Could be interesting. See low volume rise, sell off here, but the volume was very muted. Still expanding moving averages right there. That's always healthy. 50-day looking up, 200-day looking up. Looks like we barely paused around the 200-day. Let's get a little more perspective. So $1 to 22 cents, that's a negative quarter over quarter. 9 cents to 34 cents, that's extremely positive. 10 cents to 40 cents, that's extremely positive. So we do have, looks like, a little bit of increased annual growth there. This $1 is going to FUD a bunch of stuff up, though. -8 cents to $1 to 22 cents. Maybe that's a one-time event. -7 to 9 to 34, 3 to 10 to 40. So definitely earnings expansion going on here the past couple of years. And it looks like this is a second stage base. So here's one base. Here's another base. So there's a weekly chart trying to, okay, recent ICO, okay. Or IPO. Stuck in the crypto world, guys. But yeah, so there's your ICO. There's breaking your high. And 39% deep cup. Little deep. Really never had a handle in here. This technically should be your handle, but it would be considered a high handle. And volume hasn't expanded since it's been consolidating here. It's been moving up a little bit, but volume hasn't been moving up. It's gapping up here to 24.45. Well past a reasonable buy point, but it looks pretty good. NIMH is not bad. UAVS, IDTI. Alright, we saw Lulu already. Well past the buy point. CAR, AMPH. Oh, there's an interesting thing. A bill. There's no a bill to a bill. 115 down to 3. KOPN. Nope. ARQL. Maybe. PDD. Nope. Pinduoduo. ADVMSCI. Alright, so I mean the best one I think is that I already forgot it. AMPH? No. No. NMIH. So that was pretty interesting. It's actually blowing past the buy point, but with the market bullish, that may not, it may still work out. Definitely a big uptrend. Two larger bases. This is basically a cup base that broke out on no high volume. Yeah, even this day isn't. I guess that's double average volume. So I guess technically it was a good breakout. It's been languishing since. So this is a breakout of a cup base and kind of a continuation. So NMIH so far, the best one today. A large W base. Not sure, Eli. There's so many damn stocks that it's hard to keep track sometimes. We talked about a few with W bases. Let's see what Investors Business Daily has to say today. So if you guys are wondering, the links that I use, right here we have the Stock Market Watch, markets, pre-market, today, .aspx. So being served courtesy of Microsoft, or written in code courtesy of Microsoft, I guess. Investors, that's what I was doing. Cloud computing firm finding nearly limitless growth. Sounds like Amazon. ServiceNow, a leader in the field of cloud computing, really. One of the fastest growing sectors in cloud computing called software as a service. ServiceNow enables companies to improve operations and boost productivity in a range of areas. Software can automate routine business tasks and help employees work more efficiently. keeping them from falling behind in a digital world. Further, as cloud software is typically delivered via an online subscription-based revenue model, the software can quickly be configured and rapidly deployed. Actually, ServiceNow had a double bottom. I think it was. It was not. I take that back. This is a flat base. And it looks like it just broke out of that flat base. And only 1.8% above it, so that's good. WHD. We also like WHD. Not really a W pattern, though. There is one here, but it's not technically correct because this doesn't undercut the previous low. Wow, so IBD's calling out ServiceNow. That could pose a bump for ServiceNow. Wow. So here's something interesting about these cloud providers. So during a conference call with analysts, the CEO was asked, what inning are we in terms of penetration in your base from all your new apps? And he replied, the third inning. He said the governments and large institutions are not yet taking advantage of cloud computing. So there could be a huge wall to come later on. We're a quarter there to max. He said maybe more like 20%. So, and he could be correct. A lot of people still use downloadable software instead of cloud for many things. So, yeah, he's probably right. In time, we will move to a very cloud-based system, but that's really going to rely on good internet. What up, Grazier? So. Actually, the Department of Defense, there was an article I read that they already have an RFP for cloud databases. See if I can find the article again. So they're looking. Yeah, here we go. Here's an article. It's not the article about it, but Amazon, the lone frontrunner for $10 billion Pentagon cloud contract. So they're doing it. They're moving there. They're realizing that they can't be as agile as many people. But there's a big thing that the Department of Defense is basically writing their contract where only Amazon can get it. And I watched an article that showed Jeff Bezos with a big $600 million with the CIA. So they're getting there. Well, trust me, the government's going to go walk that building, but they're doing it. I mean, right here, $10 billion cloud contract with the Department of Defense. What's bigger than that contract? Like, really, Social Security on the cloud? No, it's an actual RFP that they have out there. They're doing this. They're doing this. So basically, instead of them building out the infrastructure from scratch, they're just gonna rent it from Amazon. But I didn't type all this. It's happening. Well, here's where they're backing off. But anyway, it's the government doesn't have expertise in cloud, and Amazon, Microsoft, and all these do. So, anywho, but yeah, so service. Talking longer term, you're talking cloud stocks, you're talking cannabis stocks, Tesla, kind of the longer term things. All right, so we got 8 minutes left, huh? Let's look at WHT in terms of options. So we had WHT up here going to about 45. And if we go up to, I'm just going to make some notes. Break even would be 39.50. I was looking at an option last night, Eli, that I thought was pretty spectacular. It was this KLXI. So this KLXI, I found this last night, and very cool patterns, very just interesting, kind of chopping up. Obviously, we haven't really broken out yet, but 2 major volume days. I don't know how we get that kind of volume and don't move up. That's probably is some dark pool buying and selling is more than likely what that is. And what a dark pool is basically a back room where institutions no, looks like it's in real time. But a dark pool is where institutions trade like very large blocks of shares with each other instead of trying to open and sell on the open market, trying to buy and sell on the open market and really driving price up. So what they'll do is they'll, sell 1 million shares to each other at one price and taking both of those. So KLXI, I was looking them up yesterday, and I'm going to have to look them up again. So I actually found them on IBD last night. It's just on the cover page with the huge volume increase. And then I saw the chart and I'm like, whoa, what are you doing? And so this thing, I'll pull up the stock list here. So it's got pretty good earnings, 79% EPS change last quarter and the last 3 quarters. Green, 34 3 years EPS growth rate. That's pretty good. Sales change 22%, which isn't too bad. Pre-tax margin ROE are a bit low. Yeah, it's more than that. But if you look at it, Eli, if you look at it, if you look at this 75, what's our target here? $90. That's what I'm looking at. But that's what I'm looking at right there. So if you look at that one, going to February here, its last trade was at $2 for this one for the 75. So it's kind of weird. What they're doing is it's not a very liquid. So if someone market buys, they're just going to sell it to them at a tremendous. So look at here. These are all $4.90. That's just a market maker pricing it, really high, so that someone will arbitrarily buy. But if you look at here, it goes 970, 760, 580, 320. So this should be down like, 2, then this should be 50 cents. So if you bid appropriately, maybe they'll sell it to you. But I think they're kind of on Well, you put in a limit order and you see if they fill it, is what you do. And like I said, if you want to play, sometimes there's a game, but yeah. So this market is one of those that is not liquid, and these are some of the games that they play. So definitely don't do a market order in these situations. You have to look at them too, but definitely there's a potential here. This thing does move, and it looks well within the realm of possibility for it to get here. So that's a 20% move. And I take my targets based on 20% moves. So good morning, Muhammad. Analysis on gold and silver. Yeah, I can do a little bit. But gold right now is bearish. It's just bearish. We'll go to the weekly on gold. So here's gold. We've actually been tracking gold. There have been people interested. I am not one of them, but gold actually broke a resistance level right here, and it's just been in a huge choppy range, to be quite honest with you. So there's gold going, or the GLD, which is the ETF for gold. And you can see it popped up, came lower. It has a ceiling here at 1,300 right now, failing to get over that. Break of this trend line implies that there's more downside action to come. In terms of silver, I think that's SLV. And this down at 13 bucks. See, here's the point about gold and silver. They have very long life cycles. Very, very long life cycles. If you invest in silver, look at this thing. It's been a dead investment. Yes, it bounced from 12 to 20. That's a pretty good gain. That's a pretty good gain right there. But, to come out of these doldrums takes a long time. And with pointing, directly down right now, increasing volume here, I'm not quite sure exactly when it's going to come back. So I don't know why people are interested in gold and silver, but I had this theory yesterday, and it probably proves to be true. Gold and silver was a safe haven back in the day, like, even pre-2005. But nowadays, there's many other ways to hedge your bets, and sophisticated investors and even not so sophisticated investors because think of better ways to hedge than buying gold and silver. Gold and silver aren't hedges. They're just tradable assets like anything else, and they're both in downtrends. I would avoid them at all costs. I don't care about physical gold. I don't care about any of that. People talk about the end of the world and stuff. If everything goes bad, I'm going to have gold. Well, you don't see the Walking Dead show walking around transacting in gold. Well, that's good, Christina. Yeah, it's a tradable asset, exactly like I said. But yeah, I think both of them are garbage right now. I wouldn't touch either of them. Hey, the market's open. Let's go take a look at what happened. So KLXI, I need to put that on my list here. But yeah, Eli, so if you look at the options on KLXI, it's like 600% if it gets to that by February. It's a tremendous amount. All right, so on my list, I've got Control 4, Fizz, Serum, Dominoes. Leading and failing is here, Shutterstock, and BE. Cores is down a little bit. On a weekly chart there. That looks a little better. Cores is rolling over, but the volume's pretty muted. So I'm a little torn on whether I want to get out of this position or not, but it's above the buy point. That's all I can ask for it. I was looking at the 77.50, but the 75 probably does just as well. But if you take that, if you extrapolate that out with a $2 buy, Yeah, but you're also trading with extreme leverage there, Christina. They're all just tradable. They're all tradable assets. You treat them all the same. You may have different strategies for different markets, but they're all the same thing. What's lower here? AMBA's down 13 or 11%. A few things are down a little bit. Let's go to the top. CM, Ulta coming back. Could be interesting. Trendline break right there. Been not really moving. Ruger. Been waiting for Ruger to move. So here's Ruger's long-term chart on the weekly. Um, Basically topped, and then when Trump became president, no one thinks that the government's taking your guns, so these stocks didn't do a whole bunch. And it still may not, but volume declining nicely. Price has gone sideways for a number of years now. I don't know if you can expect an immediate price increase out of this, but this is a very nicely long-term base forming over 1, 2, 3, 4 years, 4.5 years. And yeah, Ruger could be interesting. So keep an eye on Ruger coming up to this trend line right there. I'm not sure what the story is that'll really get that rocking. Maybe there's no story. Maybe it just rocks. Okay, didn't want to do that. So there's Cron whipsawing around a little bit. Square up again. Man, in Fuego Square. You're on fire, son. ABMD is looking pretty right there. Couple of days up. Let's take a look at these. We got FIVN, Twilio after a pullback yesterday. FFIV looking good. Regeneron. Nope, that's CRM. I added CRM to my list. Regeneron so far looking okay today. Pretty nice volume up here. There's a bit of selling going on yesterday. It's not too bad. Garmin, Workday, Twitter. Twitter hanging on to dear life. And WHD down 1%. So maybe a bit of a pullback buy if you did want to get into that. Or maybe just go sideways for a while. We'll have to wait and see. But no major volume here yet. Yesterday was the biggest volume in quite some time. Technically a pocket pivot day. If you guys remember me talking about pocket pivots. Pocket pivot day yesterday. And we'll see what happens. Usually after pocket pivots, it's not 100% that it runs. But you sometimes see a bit of a lag for several days to a week or two. And then it gets going. But the pocket pivots are things to note. Disney, sure. Stuck in a huge trading range, it looks like. See the moving averages here in blue just fighting with each other. And just whipsawing back and forth. Not too bad. Lower time frames. Are you day trading on me? Don't start day trading. Well, I've only got a 5-minute here. I guess I could 1 to 4 hour. Let's do a 4 hour. There's a 4 hour. One second. We can do a tick chart. Have you guys seen tick charts? Those are crazy. Let's do a tick chart for a minute. So there's your tick chart. Well, not really ticking a whole lot. There's a tick. It just ticked. There's a tick chart. Do some TA on that, bitch. There's a tick chart. It's just, yeah, I don't get it. Anyway, there's really not much on the daily you can't kind of interpret if you know what to look for there. Um, Tick charts are for extreme day traders like micro scalpers. They'll find really different trends with tick charts. Yeah, it's also for schizophrenics. It calms them down. I'm joking. I'm joking, but I couldn't be. Maybe I'm not. All right, so Kron up 5%. What do you want me to see on Disney here? I don't know. Kind of looks okay, but it's in a consolidation right there. But Kron moving higher there, Eli. There you go. Boom. I'm assuming you held that. Oh, this one? No, this one's not. This one's not child friendly. SQ, man. Market is rocking here. Wow, here actually popped positive. Yep, absolutely, it's all FUD. Workday still rocking. Fizz is starting to come back. Domino's Pizza going. Yeah, my stuff's looking pretty good. Except for Twitter. Twitter, you can't have a red day until 2020, so just get on the program. Guys, hold on a minute. I'll be back in a couple minutes. Alright, guys, I'm back. I'm back. Is day trading stocks a viable option, or should I stick to crypto, forex, and commodities? You can do all of it, Christina. Just pick which market suits your trading style best. But yeah, you can trade them all. I think the thing is to move where the opportunity is. So that's really the main thing. There's guys that trade everything and just move to where the opportunity is, and that's a way to do it. Why Amazon is not splitting stock? Just curious if you know what drives the splits, or why high price stocks not having them. Yeah, I can tell you exactly why they're not splitting their stock. That's why. Warren Buffett's never split the stock in his company, and it's worth $316,010 a share. And everybody wants to be like Warren Buffett. So, what derives a stock split is whether the board of directors or the person in charge wants to split their stock. They don't have to split their stock. And Warren Buffett, most famously, has never split his stock. And by doing so, probably has made his stock a little less valuable. Unless because, who's going to buy a 316,000 price thing? So let's go max available. Let's go monthly for Berkshire Hathaway. So you can see it go back to 1990. Keep in mind he started this company in 1955, I believe. Something like that. It's in the 50s. And, 5,500 back in 1990, all the way up to 316,000. So it really started going. Berkshire was around $100,000. They were around $100,000, and everyone was enamored with the large price ticket. And so all these rich dudes stopped splitting their stocks, which is why you see a lot of stocks in the $1,000 range now. Before that, like in the 90s and early 2000s, everybody would split their stock when it got over a couple $100, just to make it more affordable for the average person to afford a share. Nowadays, there are a few instruments that will allow you to buy less than a share of a stock. I still don't think they'll let you buy like a quarter of a Berkshire Hathaway share, strictly because the brokerage house has to buy that one share and then hold the remaining. And so I don't think they want to buy one Berkshire Hathaway share and then hold that. Anywho, that's why. Everybody wants to be like Buffett. Alright, so Alta popping up there. Kron pulling back a little bit. Ruger doing pretty good today. Why not? Why can't it be a legit explanation? It absolutely can, and it's pretty much correct. It's pretty much correct. The only reason people split their stock, Eli, is to make it more affordable for the average investor. It's the only reason you split your stock. There's no benefit to it. There's no benefit. There's no drawback to it. Now, if you have a stock that has multiple splits in a short period of time because their stock is rallying tremendously, that can cause rallies to fail. But that's pretty much literally the reason why is, in the early 2000s, there was a big hullabaloo about having these extremely high-priced stock prices. And so all these companies now let their stocks get into the stratosphere. But yeah, that's the reason why. And it's the board of directors that decide if the stock is going to split or not. But as you know, sometimes the board of directors is run by one person. All right, here's up 2%, making a comeback. All right, here's going right back to 35, guys, in about 12 minutes. Big candle. Yeah, basically, only rich investors can trade Berkshire Hathaway, absolutely. But what Berkshire Hathaway did, they kind of recognized it, but they still didn't want to split their stock, so they made a Berkshire Class B shares. So this is $209, but it's the exact same thing as There's two shares, so there's Class A and there's Class B. I believe the Class B does not have voting rights. I'm not completely up on Class A versus Class B, to be quite honest with you. It's kind of like second-class citizen stock. But the Class A shares, yeah, basically. The Class A shares. Now, here's another thing Berkshire does is they've never issued a dividend. Never issued a dividend. And they never will. Okay, I hit B. I didn't mean for it to do that, but that's funny. It looks like the same chart. Peasants and kings, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I actually know a guy that bought a bunch of Berkshire Hathaway back when it was like $85 in the 90s. Or maybe it was $200. I don't remember the exact price. He was a billionaire, by the way. One of my audio video clients. Man, there's Apple. Still rocking it, son. You got in WHD? Yeah, today's not a bad day. Which you want to put it on the watch list there? Which one did you get in? I'm thinking the 75 or the 77 and a half. Yeah, Eli, but the days can be numbered in thousands. Here's the thing about Apple, the growth rate just doesn't stop. Regardless of what you think about them or, and you're correct, everything's days are numbered. Look, we thought Apple topped in 2015. To be quite frank with you. I mean, just to be brutally honest with you. We thought this was is that 2015 or 2012? We thought this was a top. We thought this was a top. I mean, there have been multiple tops. You had positions. I guess I need a refresh. Yeah, there you go. You don't have this thing WebSocketed, Eli? This used to be WebSocketing info all over the internet. Everywhere. Just kidding. That'd be cool, though. Well, yeah, I know. I know. But we don't have any topping signals yet. You got to look for topping signals. Until then, don't count those chickens before you hatch. Yeah, I probably will. I was actually just looking at. There's a few changes I'd like to make, and before I get too deep into my other project, I should probably because I think I will do some of the stuff based on view, just because I kind of like it. Yeah. But yeah, I mean it's moving pretty good now. But as you can see from a volume perspective, look at these guys holding Apple from way the hell back here. These guys are holding Apple for 20 years. Look at that. Look at that one red volume day right there. Look at all that volume. 2.5 billion shares traded on that one day. Amazing. And then, or 1 week. And they're holding all of that. Maybe there's some distribution up here. Some more, look at that, some more accumulation. There's some selling here, obviously, because it already had a huge run from 20 to 100. And then it's amazing. No, I do the same with cantaloupes, kiwis. Yeah, do it all. All right, back to the lecture at hand here. So you got the 40. So that was you. Was that you at $1? There's a bid there at $1. Let's get back to the regularly scheduled program here. Trying to make some money. $1.9. Let's see what I don't see now up here. No, now it's basically flat. Oh, here's up 3%. Here's making a move. Here's starting to make a move. Never mind. But it is up 3%, so that's good. Maybe just the next step in a downward trend. So there's your current trend line in here. WHD. Twitter down 1.2%. Twitter, you're not supposed to do that. You're not supposed to do that. Oh yeah, it is a Head and Shoulders. I don't do Head and Shoulders that much in the stock market. I do have to admit that. I don't really... It's not something I typically look for. In crypto, it's just everywhere. Like, literally everywhere. So you can't help but look at Head and Shoulders patterns. Down to 15. Say it ain't so, Eli. Say it ain't so. That would take us down to kind of the breakout point there. Oh, thanks, babe. Or I guess the base from that breakout point. That'd be a great place to accumulate some here. Alright, wife actually dropped off some food for me. Which means I'm probably going to end the broadcast so I can eat the food. We're almost done here. It's about 6:54. Retail's doing pretty good. CRISPR coming back here, Eli. Check that out. We got CRISPR coming back after a nice decline. So a little rounded bottom there. I should always buy in those bottoms like that. I just don't have enough capital where I need it to trade as many options as I should be trading. But I also don't want to trade that many options. That's the thing. I don't want to have that many positions. I should have a position in Funko, though. I like Funko. Now let's do a market scan real quick and see what's what. Let's do, I got market cap here. Let me put market cap on here. This is true. This is true. Sweet, it'll do that. Market cap, there we go. All right, sort this by market cap. Apple. Well, of course Apple's going to be up there. TAL Education Group is right there. They're a pretty good one. Yeah, well, the problem is TQQQ's working and well. So I don't want to, at least right now, I don't see anything. I don't know. I should probably revisit some of that. I'm going to detach this. And so I'm going to mute the mic, guys, eat a bagel, and sort through some of these movers that I just pulled up. So you'll see me do something, but you won't hear me talking. Mic's not broke. Be back. All right. Bagel is now officially in my stomach. So what I did is I have my little scan here, which, oh, why is there a max on this scan? I didn't notice that. I could have had much better results. There we go. Look at the ones up over 5. My scan is limited to 5% positive. I just noticed it, so I'm going to scroll through the ones that are higher than 5% positive. Whoa. Buy it. Alright, so I'm gonna buy the option back to 73 for I'm gonna give it until December. So we're just gonna do a huge V like this. Okay? URI. What's URI doing? I haven't bought anything. I don't have any cash left. I bought nothing. Speaking of cash, let me go look at my cash. I thought about selling Twitter a couple of times in lieu of a better trade, but I just haven't brought myself to do it yet. Yeah, Twitter's my, TQQQ is my third best performer in my portfolio right now. So, and it's by far my largest position. And by far my safest position. Yeah, I highly doubt I'm going to lose 20% in my TQQQ overnight. Yeah. Let's do, you know what, we're going to do that, let's pick our spot. So, we'll take a buyout in the $60 range. Is that what we were thinking, Eli? $60? I think that would be a reasonable price for Twitter. So have them buy it in the $60 range. Yeah, let's just do 75. It sounds better. How's that? 75 sounds better for the media. Actually, I think the IPO price was like 72. So just to save face, and this is, this is just for them. Just for them to save face. Let's do it at 150. Just so it's over the IPO price, so the IPO people feel good about themselves. I'm worried about them. BE up 3% today. Woohoo! Looking pretty good right there. BE could be part of a very long-term portfolio. Just great product. Love that thing. So, you scared me on here now. Fizz up 1.37%. Go Fizz. Looks like the options are, yep, doing better. All right, that option's almost up 100% right now if you take the median between the bid and the ask. If it gets up a little higher here towards 120, that should be a little better. So I do still have Generac, which isn't broken. It's not moving, but it's not broken. It looks, the volume signature looks healthy here. Good for a potential run, but I don't know when that's going to happen. I still have here, I still have a Regeneron, which I'm finally positive in. After being, I was instantly down like 40% just from that stupid little move right there. And through some patience, I'm back to positive, so that's good. Yeah, I didn't like how that worked. I was pissed when I woke up the next morning. I'm like, no! What are you doing? You're not supposed to do that. So good volume of the increase here, though. This, like I said the other day, if all this action, if there's no gap here, and we just went and connected that open to that close, we'd be good to go. I'd be happy with that. And we'd be a little bit higher too, but anyway, a little bit of patience paid off for Regeneron. Yeah, doesn't it? I think maybe that's what it was, and I just missed it. I missed the middle finger signal. The technical chart pattern that is a middle finger. Also still have cores. Just going through a little bit of a pullback here. Great volume there out of earnings on the breakout point, and then pretty good volume afterwards. Subsequently, low volume area here. Hopefully they can get rallying. I still have TTMI, which is doing better. I'm actually not down a lot in TTMI, and I bought my entire cost basis is $248.45. So I'm not losing much sleep over this position, but it's sitting there on my screen, so I have to pay attention to it. My big positions, minus Twitter, are doing pretty good. I think I bought on that peak. I think that's where I bought it. As it was trying to break out. Volume was really good. And I hate that. It's so annoying. Volume was really good on this day, and then it just kind of slowly petered out. And nothing was wrong with it, and it just ended up undercutting pretty deep. Came back and basically filled the gap there, and hopefully we're off to the races. You see a little bit of volume expansion here on the right side, so hopefully that continues. I did have a sell order here on this day as it popped up. That was never filled, and I just decided to hold it, and here we are. So, all right, guys, I'm going to bounce out of here. Get the kiddos ready for school. Market's doing pretty good here, so let it run. We got the NASDAQ still poking upwards. All green skies ahead. Cron here pulling back nicely after a big FUD day yesterday. It was down way too much. Good job, Eli. And Ruger's doing pretty good. What's the volume on Ruger like today? Pretty good. Half of day's volume already done. Half an hour into the trading day. So Ruger could be at a buy point here. So, all right, guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good one.